These 2 gallons of mead are almost complete, but before I bottle, I'm going to show you how I determine if they need to be stabilized. And there are 3 important things to consider. I also made this flowchart to make it really easy, so feel free to screenshot. So the very first thing you need to check is if it's completed the fermentation process and take note of your final gravity. As you can see, this one fermented dry, so let's move on to the taste test. When tasting, decide if adding sweetness would help or hurt your batch. I'm actually not going to sweeten this strawberry mead because it tastes really good as is. Since I'm not sweetening or adding clarifiers, this batch does not need to be stabilized. But for this apple cinnamon mead, the spices are very fragrant and the apple flavor is a bit tart, so I think a little bit of sweetness can make this batch shine. Therefore, this one will need to be stabilized. The addition of honey requires stabilizing, otherwise that added sugar will ferment away. To stabilize, use sodium metabisulfite and potassium sorbate, and together these will render your yeast unable to ferment. Wait 24 hours after adding the metabisulfite before you add your potassium sorbate, and after that it is stabilized. One other thing to consider is clearing agents, because if you want to add them and your final gravity was above 1.00, you'll want to stabilize first. Again, this is just to avoid fermentation. But once a batch is stabilized, it is pretty much safe to